Hey video game fans, this is Matt back for another Fallout 4 tour. It's been a month since my last recording, and I decided to do an update. After my last recording, I did some work upgrading some of my things that I was saying I should. Oh, I ought to do this. Oh, I ought to do this. Did that. Then I don't know. I was kind of bored. I ended up deciding to do a playthrough of the survival mode. I created a new character and played through survival mode. And I went through about 25 levels before it became frustrating. And then I basically switched back and started playing with my original character. And this is still technically my first time playthrough. I'm still working my way through the game. I have been to Nuka World and back. Still working through some of that stuff. But I wanted to do an update because it has been a month since my last one, and I have spent a lot of time in the last couple of weeks upgrading some of my bases. Now, I am going to do a tour of the different places I've done work on. I'm not going to visit every location because some of them I haven't done anything with since the last time I recorded, so no reason to revisit. But we are in Sanctuary Hills, and because completely forgot about it, despite the fact I mentioned it twice, in the original recording, I spent some time talking about my wall defense, but in my re-recorded version, I completely forgot to do it. So I'm going to start there, and then I'm going to go into some of the buildings that I've upgraded. So this back lot I changed. Before, all I had was I had the little fenced-in backyard. It's gone. I removed it. And I moved the location of my elevated guard post and built up around it. So I'm going to start with this, and then once I've done my full circuit, I should end up back here before I go to the interior location. So that's why I chose this. So I got rid of my traps that I had. I had a few traps built around the place. Got rid of those. Decided to finally fill in some of these gaps, and I did. Sometimes, if I had to, I'd use the concrete wall, which is a pretty strong defensive move. Other times, I used fences or walls as needed. I didn't realize this created this little weird pocket, but that's fine. Found a new. I moved the dog meat's house, so he's got his own little area here. I used some of the existing structure of the foundation and put up some walls, but otherwise we got the gate, which I just opened before, built around on the other side. Since I had this little pocket space over here, I decided, well, I might as well use this as kind of like their latrine area. Currently, because this thing just kind of jammed in there, I couldn't do much with it, but it seemed more secure than the hedge. So, and I left the fence on the outside, so that's why that's there. I just thought, why not? I got rid of some of the holes that were in the wall and the outer wall, and the gun that was here was just being wasted, and the power source. I trashed all that, put in a wall. I got rid of the steel partial building thing that was left of my old steel building, replaced it with some fences and walls, and I was experimenting with different kinds of towers. I really want to show the house that I built in my survival build because in the Sanctuary Hills, I really narrowed down where I was building to a very small area and really intensified my building. But here it's a little more loosey-goosey because it's taken several different generations of upgrades to get me where I'm at. But anyway, defensive gun turret area. This whole back wall was built prior to my last video, but I didn't cover it. So I wanted to make sure I took the time to cover it. So as you can see, the hillside over here was kind of nasty, so mostly I'm using fences. I use the pillar trick mostly to get them so they could sink in and fit to the best of their ability. So they're not too gappy, and they don't have big, holes underneath them, because that's my biggest pet peeve is I don't like stuff floating in space. I use the L-shaped wall there. Again, there's some gaps, but some of those are because of the tires. It's no way really around that. So again, another watchtower, currently not being staffed, overlook the river, which again I didn't showcase my defenses last time, but I got guns down there. Back wall, that just walls and fences. There's my garden area, nothing's new there, and my barbecue area. The big building that I mentioned in the last video that it doesn't have a purpose. The other doghouse. Continuing the fences over here. Yeah, this thing probably needs to be pushed back a little bit, and I haven't done that yet, but for now that's fine. It's just there. Mix of different pieces. Got the big water purifier down there, protected by guns. More guns and more guns. Anything that comes over that bridge is basically going to get shot down. Okay, that's it for the front wall. The power station over here hasn't changed, but I did finally furnish this little cabin and its little workstation. So I didn't put in a workbench. I decided, well, let's just put a desk in here, and I'll probably get some junk items and throw on the shelves and tables and stuff to make it look more, tools and so forth. Then here's the little apartment. And I have I can't remember what his name is. He's one of the survivors that you get at the beginning of the game with the Minutemen. And I gave him a mechanic suit. Well, he's got a mechanic suit. I made this basically his personal room. Didn't do anything. If I didn't do anything new, I'm not going to bother going over it. So I'm pretty much just going to focus on the stuff that I have added since the last video. Nothing new. I don't remember if I had that full concrete wall, but I put a full concrete wall. Again, I was trying to fill some spaces. I've been to Nuka World, so I got some Nuka World decoration now in here. Threw some stuff in to give it a little more life. A throne, hay bale, mix it up a little bit. I think most of the signage, some of the signs I added were new. There's a couple of new signs, but most of them were the ones that were here before. Nothing else new in there. Yesterday I built this little building with no real idea of what I wanted to do with it. I had the little fence gate here, and I saw that it kind of run really tight, and there was a fence row here adjacent run right into the backyard. I was like, you know what, it'd be kind of neat to have like a staircase up into a building, and that led one thing to another. Eventually I got rid of the fence and built this narrow little building. It's got a kind of nice little thing. I don't have a door yet, I don't think, no. Ground floor, and this goes into the back, basically the backyard area. Okay, windows. I don't need any more building space, room space in terms of bedrooms, but I don't know, maybe I'll use this for food storage or a greenhouse, I don't know, because it's loaded with windows. I was trying to utilize as many of the different window and pre-built construction pieces that I could to create this very much a very solar light catcher in here. But I haven't furnished it, but I threw the building together. It worked pretty good, or pretty well. Let's see what else. Nothing new. I did misspeak in my last video too. I said that this house was the lone survivor, or the whatever survivor's house, when it was actually this house. I just wanted to clear that up. I did figure it out afterwards. I did some really cool stuff at these two houses, this one and the next one, in the other playthrough. I'm gonna have to cover that in a video, I think. Alright, so again, there was a trap over here. I plugged it in. I got rid of it. I've been experimenting with scaffolding and combining that stuff with watchtowers and stuff, and so I built this defensive. There's actually a concrete wall on the bottom, and I have the scaffolding leading up to this location. So, nice little defensive, plug of that hole. This is the fourth, I think, little door switch that I've added to my properties since I've acquired it. So this is a house that this is the first house that I've really kind of decided, okay, I'm going to fix it. So I put in some walls a wall to cover up that window. That's a wall. The door, another wall. I used the pillar trick to put a fence over this window to kind of give it, like a caged in window. This one of the metal walls there. Inside the house, I've also cleaned it up a little bit. I plugged in the broken closet space, fixed some of those walls, fixed the back wall, so it's more livable. These are things that I did in my other playthrough or something similar to them. So I just kind of wanted to start fixing up the houses, basically. I still need to do that back wall. I got to run around back and do it, and I didn't want to mess around with it. I haven't decided whether I want to leave that hole in that window or not. But anyway, off the side of this was the overhang. And again, I had that thing built over here, and I said, you know what? Why don't I try to build something in here? So I did. I experimented with some different building things, created this nice, using the roof that was already here. All I did was that it actually let me put the internal walls inside. So I was like, well, great. I'll just take advantage of that. Created a nice little 2-room apartment here. I don't know whether I'll use it for storage. Again, I don't need the bedroom space, but maybe I'll move a bed or two in here and turn some of those mass bedroom barracks into something a little less jam-packed. And this week I also fixed some things on my garage. So I finally got rid of the little pull off the door, open the door kind of thing, and replaced it with an actual switch. So now whenever I hit this switch, it allows power to go into the thing, which opens up the door and turns on the lights. So everything's lit up. So this is my power armor work room. I have my extra power armor storage here with all the power armor that I currently have that isn't on a frame. And then several of these are done. These are perfectly good armor. I can take it out and use it. Other ones are naked. Other ones are partially built or in the process of being built. And of course I use that here. So anytime I want to work on it, I don't have to take it all the way back over there. I can just build it here. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with this one, because I did find out that the arms and the torso are a unique 3-part set. I need to do more missions with the Brotherhood, which I've recently allied or advanced their storyline. And they have the helmet and the leg pieces that'll eventually go on that. So I'm just leaving it there for now. So that is my work barn. Next door, I decided to build another building. This is my new display barn. Looks pretty much the same, I know, but there's no workstation here. These are simply displaying it, and I also chose a different color for the two the power armor displays. So the unique paint jobs or different sets, that's pretty much, I needed it because as you saw in the last video, it was really cluttered in there. I had bodies all over the place, and I decided, well, heck, why don't I just build another garage? So that's what I did there. And as you can tell, I also built a different staircase to my little above area apartment. Otherwise, it's essentially the same. I added in a few more decorative pieces, some walls, wall decoration, some posters and such. I still decided not to put a bed in here because I don't want anybody using it or trying to use it. It's bad enough every once in a while I got somebody standing on top of a roof because their routing screwed up what they were doing. But anyway, this actually worked out really nice. I only had to replace one wall section to build it, and the staircase worked out fine. So boom, that was a really easy fix. I was glad I figured that one out. I think that's it for Sanctuary Hills. But anyway, the work... I gotta get him to follow me. The,
Hey, ready. Come on. Got it. There's Brotherhood, and there's everything else.
the work I'm doing to improve this house, once I'm finished with that, I'm going to move on to the next one and the next one. I already started kind of doing this one with the half wall and then the window above it. I don't mind that they look trashy. I don't mind that they look pieced together. I don't mind having a town that looks like, you know, Megaton North. That's totally okay with me. Um, I just don't like huge holes in the walls. I'm not nearly as bothered by the roofs. I know a lot of people online make these elaborate roof repairs and the floor repairs. I might experiment with some of the floor ones, but I'm fine. The roofs look like crap. I wish I could fix them up without making them look completely ridiculous. And most of the people who fixed them online, I think, made the houses look more ridiculous than they did when they started. So, anyway, I'm choosing to make my repairs in my own little way. Um, no need to go to Abernathy. Oh yeah, I might as well. Got my trade network finally working. Um, yeah, I'm not using Red Rocket. I'm not developing Sunshine and some of the other little locations. I have no business building there, so I don't. So my trade, basically everything that I'm doing flows to Starlight Drive-In. It's the central line. So Sanctuary goes to Abernathy Farms, which goes to Starlight. Ten Pines Bluff goes directly to Starlight. Most of this was explained in the last one, but I didn't realize I had this nice little supply line display in that one. Kingsport and Croup Manor both go to Finch Farm. The Slog, I have two different trade routes. One that goes to Finch Farm and one that goes over to swing over to Greentop, and Greentop goes to Taffington. Finch Farm goes to Taffington. Nordhagen Beach hits up Mechanist Lair, which goes to County Crossing, back to Finch Farm. Although I might put an extension, I might have one going over to there too, but we'll see. That's the northern trade network. The southern trade network, Murkwater, I have Murkwater going to Somerville, Murkwater going to Egret Tours, and Murkwater and Vault 88 with a route. Why do I have so many going from Murkwater? Because there's not much for anybody to do in Murkwater, so it's a really crappy location in that swamp. When I actually bother to build up Spectacle Island, which I know can be done, then I will have trade routes connecting it to both Castle and Warwick. Warwick goes to Vault 88. Castle goes to Jamaica Plain. They have a route between each other. Jamaica Plain also goes over to Egret Tours. Egret Tours goes up to Oberlin Station in a pretty much straight shoot. Oberlin Station is going to have my leg that goes over to Hangman's Alley. That's a straight shoot. That's runnable. That handles all of that. Oberlin Station just crosses the bridge to Grey Garden. Grey Garden is a short distance away from Starlight, so that handles all that route. I'm not going to visit all these locations this trip. The next place I am going to go is Starlight. So when we last saw Starlight, I did not have any people here. I only had 2 people. Now I have a lot of people here, and I built it up. Most of the building over here is the same. I have not done anything on this side. And the wall over there was built last time. But everything else I have kind of upgraded. I got everything staffed, so I got my bar. And that guy sleeps in the room up above that I showed last time. I still don't have this dedicated as anything. I intended to make it a little more involved, but whatever. So last time all I had was this going over here to this station, and I said that there wasn't anything I could do at the back side of this. So around the garden, I built a little wall up there.
You hear about that farm on Line Pool?
I'll get back over here in a second.
I always wanted to say that.
I've added a few outhouses to some of my properties. Put the doghouse over there. So I built up foundation. Basically, there's a wooden foundation built up here, and another one built up over here, and then I connected them with that little, whatever it's called, the little scavenger bridge thing, or whatever it's called. I can't build a wall back here. I think it goes right up to the edge of the property line, and it wouldn't let me build a full wall, but it did let me build the little half fences. So I turned this into a little porch. Otherwise, some bunks, open door across the little bridge, and then a nice little storage building for our foodstuffs or whatnot. Kind of like my own little silo area. Okay, so that's all new. Oh, I didn't realize I haven't put a roof on this thing yet. I'll have to get to that. Let's see, the outhouse is there. That is not its permanent place. This was something I was working on, trying to figure out if I could put it over there. But anyway, I got my little general store with my little guy dressed up like a mailman. Put some of my decorative stuff here. The whack-a-mole game. Okay, the walls, nothing is different on the wall the whole distance. It's all pretty much exactly the same. Next, the water. So I put in a second water purification thing, and I decided I wanted to secure it a little better, so I built these. I was experimenting with the different kinds of concrete walls, the ones that had the little fencing in it and the ones that were solid, and created this nice little water purification little zone. It's tricky working with the concrete because they get these types of things. They're fine building a wall that doesn't go to the end, unlike the other wall pieces. They're actually pretty good about it, but it makes it kind of it's amazingly difficult to make a decent square. But I like this. I like the concrete because they actually absorb into the ground better than the other wood and steel bits. And I got the little fence, the little walkway over the top so you can examine it. I also have the little ladder going down into the water in case somebody needs to go in and repair it. Again, I'm going for realism here. So, I think the last time I had this, all I had was the platform, the base platform. And that was fine. I built it out, I made it bigger, I started building above it. Once I started having people and staffing the building, then I kept getting them, people were getting trapped underneath. It wouldn't shock me if I saw bodies under there right now. They end up getting stuck inside the foundation in their routing. So I removed some of them, which is fine. And I already decided I was going to put walls in around the base of it to kind of mask the elevated part. But as you can see, I don't see anybody in there. But I kept getting people stuck in there. So anyway, I wanted one. Again, I'm using my little boxcar door. It's kind of like a basement storage area. I thought about putting a store out here maybe too. I'm not sold against it. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but I like the notion of it because it's right underneath the building. I put in a second entrance on the opposite side of this, and we got doors on the thing now. Well, actually, before I didn't even have walls in here, so this is going to be all new. So I got the weapons dealer here. He beds back here with a couple other people. Over here I got the clinic, the big clinic with the bed for him, it makes it look like it's for his patients. I put in a back door. I was hoping that this is going to help with some of the flow problems I was having. It was kind of fun. This is the first time I'd actually made a building this big in terms of how big its base area is. Interior walls are kind of tricky. You have to remove the floor to put the wall in, and then put the floor back, and you're fine. Everything's about doing it in the correct order. What you can't do is make like doorways into the different areas because all the dumb doorway parts are built with these little roof pieces, so they really don't work as interior doors, and there really isn't anything else that has in them. So I end up with all these like interconnected hallways instead of proper doors. So here's the armor dealer, and here's the clothing dealer, and their bed areas behind them to keep them from having to move around so much. Stairs up. Now I don't have any stores up above. Everything that's up here is just bedrooms. And again, I tried walling it off to make it make sense. Some of the walls didn't work out as well as I wanted. And you get these really weird room shapes, but all bedrooms, some windows. I even, little decorative little bits. Another staircase up. Right around the corner. This this is kind of fun to build. This is basically the master bedroom. This is going to be like a nice little bedroom area. Probably have to replace the busted out windows with some ones that are solid. Um, Beautiful overlook to the compound. Plenty of space for furnishings, for bed. But again, this is just going to be like my own personal bedroom space. Now, the difficulty was in the roof. The roof and these little L-shaped bits were a real pain in the butt. And it took a lot of trial and effort, trial and error for me to get it to work because the size was so big. And what I wanted to do didn't really gel with what they wanted me to be able to do. Like, for instance, back here, I can't build a wall here because this thing piles out over the top. So I was trying to make this for the longest time be the full length. Didn't work. Eventually I had to, okay, we'll just put that in there, close it off, boom, fine. Fix that problem. L-shaped walls. These L-shaped walls, I finally figured out why they were designed the way they are and why they're used. But sometimes they're tricky, and the other elements, the other walls and doors, have a hard time working with them, and sometimes the roofs as well. One problem is that you can't build a roof up to the side of them the way you can these other walls. Basically, you're building the wall. You can't build the roof up to the wall. I have to get rid of the wall, build the roof, and then put the wall in. I believe that's the order you have to do those. But I couldn't do that with this one for whatever reason. I think it's because this thing, see how it leans out? It won't let you build, it won't build up against a inclined roof, so I had to use flat roofs there and over here. Now I would love to have like a little door, but of course this graphic doesn't have a door. It's just an L-shaped wall, and you know, I could make this a little garden plot or something, a little something. But anyway,
I'm pleased we were assigned to the same team.
that's how that worked.
I think we can learn a lot from each other.
The only other thing, because I still haven't done anything with this back corner, I'm kind of fine with it the way it is. I did a little bit of decor in here. I took out the refrigerator and put in some chairs. And in this one, I took out some of I put in an outhouse back here, again, because you're going to need some of that stuff. I had to fix some beds. I got rid of the cabinets that were in the middle were just being more of a problem. I really wish I could get rid of the pile of dirt, but they won't let you get rid of it. Just as kind of makeshift bedding in here for people who just want to crash, I guess. And that's it. That's all that I've done with Starlight. Still got a lot of potential, a lot of possibilities, still got a lot of wide open spaces, but the building came out pretty dang nice, and everybody lives there, with the exception of the few beds I have in other locations, I guess. No need to go to 10 Pines. I guess the Slog is the next location that's on my little list here. Slog's mostly the same, but I did some work yesterday. I think when I was watching some of the Olympic coverage and I was multitasking. All this is fine. This is what I built. I think last week I built this back part over here, and it just kind of stopped. So we have some people who come through here, so I decided, well, let's build a fence over here. And with a walled it up to the fence, at least to the garden fence, no big deal. Concrete wall there, a little bit of fencing. Then I decided, let's build an elevated area, and this is actually right across the back border. But it let me build it, but I'm right onto a rock, and I'm not exactly sure if I can do anything with this. Otherwise, I might have to make this a little taller and build over the rocks to go across to here. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do with that gap. Again, some fencing. This took a little bit of fudging, but I managed to get it all to fit in there.
Most folks that run with me don't.
nether gate, because one of my what is this? This is the one that goes towards to Green Top. The one that comes from Green Top comes through here. So I built a gate there. And I had this nice little the L-shaped fence and the wall and the fence and the wall, and it kind of went along the side. And then I decided, well, why not put in the scaffolding and try to create a defensive spot here. Man, I had to rebuild this about 4 or 5 times because it fit in here. All of these, there's 6 of these like 6-1 spots, and this one in the corner wouldn't fit because the stupid L shape was too tight. It wouldn't let me build the last pylon, the last scaffold. And if I can't build the scaffolds and then put the stupid fence in, you have to build the fence first. So I had to find the exact right spot that I could build that fence and build the scaffolding. It took 3, 4, 5 attempts before I finally was able to get that section to work out. Didn't matter over here. This part worked fine because I was going to connect it with a little step up anyway. Nice little lookout post on there. I built this one up over here, a little bigger, with the big enclave style outpost. This is looking right down at the ironworks, which is where those stupid tin heads are found. And then I decided, well, why not put some guns on top of another? So I put another big scaffold on top of my existing scaffolds. I put a ladder up there and put both enclave regular laser gun and the heavy one and a missile launcher up there. So it's really well defended now. Built another gate over here because the trader that comes up, that runs by the ironworks, doesn't always go up on the road. Sometimes he comes up over the hill. So he comes through here. And I started building. I'm just working my way down the hill. I just kind of got tired of building it, so I just stopped. But eventually I'm going to probably build on the inside around the bushes rather than build around it and have a big bush on the inside. I'd rather have a bush on the outside. But it's not really going to enclose the whole area, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just put a big tower here. I don't know. Overlook the area. But anyway, that's all I did here. Everything else is essentially the way I left it last time I visited. The tour continues. We got some minor changes here. We got to go to Green Top next. So Green Top, in my last video, I had just got done building some buildings. After that, I fixed some things that I really didn't like. So remember I had the 2 little stores right down in front of the greenhouse. All that over there was built already. But I decided I didn't like the way they were. This was such a nightmare. So I built this little store area. It's got a ladder on both sides. It took forever to get it so it was square, so it wasn't like really, really wonky, like angled one way or the other. It's not exactly a perfect square, but it's, like I said, the amount of time I spent trying to make this thing square, I got tired of dealing with it. Then we got attacked by these stupid the super mutants that are right over the hill over there attacked one of my caravans, and I got sucked into it and ended up getting a bunch of people killed. Or I shot something that turned them on me, and all of a sudden I had a whole mutiny going on, and so I ended up having to go back to a previous save. Lost everything that I had done. I had spent hours building this stupid store up and building the little diner area up here. This entire area had to be built. This part I built like 3 or 4 times because of the number of times it took me to get it to lay out straight. But the entirety of it, roofs and the upgraded diner area, I had to completely rebuild twice. Oh, God, that was so frustrating. But I love the way it turned out. I couldn't build anything across this one gap. Don't need to, because basically this is just the stores. So people can come in here and buy and sell stuff. And in back, I have my little deluxe bar area. I got the big bar thing, lots of little chairs and tables. You say, well, where's the clinic? Well, I decided to use the inside of this largely looking, looks like a meth place. and put a clinic thing, and it allowed me to place it in there without too much fuss. Um, and so now the clinician guy, he just kind of sits here, and it looks pretty good, doesn't it? I thought that looked really cool. I can't do that in most of my other locations because they don't really have the. I don't know. There's a lot of them that have the bathroom door there, but they have showers and other things in the way. And this is one of the few that actually turned out, kind of nice. So that's my clinic area. Everything else is essentially what it was the last time I came here, so there's no reason to cover it.
The farm's not much, but it's something.
Okay. Tour continues. Next on the list is Taffington. I have spent some time improving Taffington Boathouse. Not the building itself. I did most of that already. But earlier today, I came here and I decided, you know what, the defenses of this place really suck. So I walled it in. So now it looks more like a proper fort. So this goes right down to the outhouse. Nice little fence right along the wall. And notice I incorporated a lot of different things. There's fences, there's walls, there's the concrete wall. I got the enclave wall with one of the enclave guns. And this is pretty much the existing location that I had for this tower. So everything else I just built down the river, down to the river. So that side's covered. I also noticed it's all powered up because these enclave guns need power. So I decided I got to come up with a better power source. So I wired it, and I built myself a little power building with the big the large power generator. From this side, it goes right out the hole in the wall, which worked out great. See? From the back side, because this is a barn-sized building or a warehouse building with a slanted roof, which I kind of liked. I wanted to experiment with different kinds of roofing options. So the back of it, I decided just to build the half wall, and boom, right out the window to power up my defenses on this side. So again, I threw in a bunch of enclave defenses, the defensive walls and the turret. And on this side, I built the little half section of a railroad car and put in the anti-radiation spray. So now it's powered up. So anybody that comes in here, they can either... Actually, I closed off the other way to get in, so now they have to come through the radiation clearer. It came out kind of nice. Still don't have a wall on this side. It's kind of hard to build one, so I probably won't. Then there's the house itself. Yeah, I got some work to do. I didn't like the fact that the whole upper part of this house was... The roof was just gone. It was just gone. And it turned out you can actually replace almost all of the ceiling tiles with floor tiles from above. They actually plopped in really nicely. There's a couple of them that they wouldn't, like the two that are here. And over here, there's two that are, that little section they wouldn't let me put. I might be able to build it from below, I guess, but I tried from above and it didn't work. Nope, can't get up over there. Probably can't over here either. So I flew up on top of the roof and basically figured out a way that I could... Sure, just push me up the stairs, why don't you, dick? Oh, you have both these guys with me. So it's not perfect, because you can see it's the double roof. If this thing had a big top, yeah. But anyway, I replaced all the floors. The big holes in the floor covered up. That solved most of my problems right there. I didn't even need to do anything else. But because I still had some exposed areas, I decided, well, let's see if I can build some kind of an over roof. The over roof worked fine. It doesn't go all the way out to the side, unfortunately. And I can't really build down. So what I'm probably going to have to do is I'm going to have to experiment with some pillar tricks and see if I can push some half walls in the front of this so it's going to go right down into the roof. I'm not sure it'll work, but I'm going to try. On the sides, I'm going to just get some big wall pieces or something and, again, try to use the... try to use the pillar trick to kind of flush it out a little bit so it's not just open and exposed. But anyway, it's not great, but it covers the holes. It's kind of like an umbrella to my house. Considering I didn't want to invest any time and energy into this place to begin with, and it's one of my smaller camps. That's it for Taffington. Boom, 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 boom. Now we're going to go way down south. I didn't do much with Castle, but I wanted to visit it just to show what little I did do. Pretty much any of the other camps that I've been to, I had minor updates. Oh, I still got a hole there. Man, I redid my wall several times to try to get from here. It looks like it's filled, but I didn't look down below, and there's still a hole there. Anyway, kind of tried to repatch that. And then I built again. I was trying to shore up my defenses. I finally got around to finding the right building structure that I could incorporate. And the concrete works better than or the cement walls, whatever they're called, because they don't mind being up against each other at different angles. So that's what I did. I just kind of walled it off. Again, I'm trying to use as many of the scaffolding as I can. Scaffold it up, put the little flat top on it, boom, got myself an outpost overlooking my other outpost. Big guns, all powered up, connected up to my power source, which I found out wasn't even being powered because it wasn't connecting correctly. So I reconnected all that up, and essentially it's my new defenses for Castle. What else do I got here? Warwick. Okay, when we were at Warwick, I hadn't done anything. I had only built an outpost. Now I got the thing fully staffed and going. Now I actually have some real buildings here. It's easy to take advantage of the water here, so there's a lot of places. Oh, I'm glad this is a nice clear day. So I got my bar area. I got a flying cow. Wow, magic. Plenty of places for people to sit.
You should know. People have been complaining a bit about the bed situation.
Yes?
Weapons, armor. Plugged some holes over here. I put in another outpost. Really plugged that up nicely. It's probably floating on the backside a little bit. Meh. We're not going to look at it from that side anyway. I tried sticking one of the water purifiers into one of the big bin tanks, but that wouldn't let me, so oh well. Walled that off. A big solid concrete wall all the way across with the watchtower, the existing fence that was already here. Then I built this building. General goods, clothing,
Yeah? Yes?
mostly beds down here. Upstairs, more bed space. And you guys want more beds. You just need one more bed. There. I'm going to put in a few because I'm probably going to add a few more. Why I think my defense is so low? Defense of 11. You know what I'm going to check out? Oh, let's see. These guys are all working. Somebody here's not working. Last time I was here, yeah. I'm going to put you to work on one of these defenses. They're all not being staffed. That guy's not doing anything either, and neither's that guy. What I'm probably just going to have to do is put in more guns. weapon. I've had more issues from this side than any other, so I'm gonna. There. Shores up my defenses. Probably put in a little scaffold here, some guns up on top of it, over the fence. Might also put some on top of there. Cover the compound. Anyway, so this is what I did with that. I thought that turned out okay. There's plenty of space. This large flat space here. I knew I was going to build some kind of building there, and it worked out really well. It's not quite level enough to build off the ground without floating stuff, so you have to pretty much build a foundation up to make it work, but it worked out all right. I probably could build some stairs up on top of that little concrete thing too. Might do something with that too sometime.
How are you?
All right, that's it for Warrington, or whatever this is. Egret Tours. All right, so Egret Tours, I was in the middle of a major refit last time, and had built it up, and I was up to the roof, and I finally figured out what I needed to do and did it. So I got a couple of things here. One, let's start over here. I finally found a way to build up my second floor. Can't do it. Can't get there from here. See? It's all walled in. You got to be on the inside of the building. Seriously? Nice routing. So I tried a different staircase. I found the steel staircase worked better than the wooden one. Covered up there. It's not decorated yet, but you can kind of see what I'm going to do with it. The bedroom. And you already saw that. So, solved my problems. I might replace this with the electric door that I've used in the other locations, because I did this a while back. I did this several weeks ago, but I wanted to show that I have fixed that problem. Notice I also got this all walled off. I guess that was there before. Over here I fixed though. I managed to add on to the wall. That might have been here too. I couldn't figure out what to do with the gap. Okay, upstairs I know is new because I was having problems with that at that time, and after I recorded, I solved my problems.
Another day of hard work.
So this floor is the same. But up here, things have changed. So I finished the floors. I don't think we need any new people. This is where I couldn't build. Still can't put a wall here because of this stupid thing. And after I got here, I was not going to tear all this down and move it a foot just to make it so it would work. So I'm probably going to have to use a little fudgy magic. I'm going to have to put something over here to force a wall into that gap. I should probably put some fences around this so people don't plummet off of this thing. I was fine with this being outside. I'm fine having a porch over here. Got the little half wall. Over here we got a bed and an overlook into the murky waters. That came out pretty good though. And a full roof on top. God. Except that thing's the wrong direction, but other than that. Yeah, that worked out really well. I haven't been here in a while. Like I said, this was one of the first things I did after recording last time. Was fix upstairs on that because I wanted to do it when it was still fresh in my mind. Yeah, there's no supports here. I intend to put some steel posts in there to at least give it the illusion that there's some support, because otherwise there's no way that thing can support itself hanging out like that. So I'll put that on my little checklist of things to do. It's a nice little fortified area. Works out okay. All right. I think I'm going to visit Murkwater. I don't really know what I've done. I think I did do a few new things at Murkwater. It's mostly what I've done last time. The main building, I haven't done anything, but I think I built... Did I build anything into the swamp is what I wanted to remember.
Hi, whatever.
Yes,
Really
and
have
up
to see
great
great
No. I was planning on it and I didn't do it. I haven't done it yet. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. No reason to go to Murkwater then. Last one is Oberlin, because that one's one that I did do some stuff. This is the last stop, I think. Pretty sure.
Yeah. Farming's as honest work gets.
Oh man, are we still bringing in new people? All of this is the same. Nothing new here. Where's my recruitment beacon at? Oh, it's in back.
I'm just so hungry all the time.
Shouldn't be. This place is generating a ton of food.
If we had a good supply of clean
So
water,
I managed to complete this by putting the roof across it and everything and the walls. Again, I know it's just a massive amounts of barracks, but it's what I have, you know. It'll look prettier once I spread the beds out and put some furnishings in. This is the new part. Completely new. Because before, I don't know if I had the roofs on here last time, but I had the walls and the idea behind what I was doing was completed. So again, I was experimenting with multi-level floors.
Lost track of how
So here's the back wall. This is as far as I'd gotten it before. And I built out the whole store area. So now this walks right underneath through the garden to where the merchants are. Up above is all the living space, and down here is like the store space.
yeah.
Extra storage. I'll probably put some storage graphics and stuff there.
if you work.
Out here's the porch.
What was that?
You know, because the last one over here I think is the bar, so people have to have places for people to sit. And then I'll go outside and see. This one I made on a solid foundation. With the decking here, solid foundation, versus the wooden frame foundation of the walled fort of a building. So that worked out really nice. So I had this, you know, it's all inside.
Yes?
Although these, again, you can't really make proper doors because of the way the clipping problem that it has. And this, I can't put a roof on this either. I might be able to come up with an overhang or something, but maybe some, I don't know, I'll figure something out, make it look a little more realistic. That came out nice. I like this. Garden space, workspace, living space. Defenses are mostly stacked over here. I'll probably put some more stuff up above. I don't remember if this whole back wall was built before either, but I built it along the railroad to the other gate. Because we have been attacked from this direction several times, so I decided I'm going to shore up my defenses over here. Now, I intend to put some walls around the foundation bits over here, so it's not all open, but it doesn't really matter because as long as the people can walk in there and not get stuck, it's fine. But turned out pretty nice. Kind of happy with that. Now, I've only built a couple of the houses up in Far Harbor. I don't think I'm going to go there. Not until I do some more work on them. I haven't been there in several weeks. Once I got through most of that story and got through everything that I wanted to do there, I came back here and started building up my stuff. And I've been busy the last week on Nuka World stuff, so that's it. I wanted to show that's where I'm at right now. Things are still a work in progress as ever, but that's where I am here in July, or in August, a month after my July upgrades, which were actually made in June and remade in July. I don't know. I'll try to make another video as I put more time and energy into this, but for now, that's what I got. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos in the future. That's all I got for now. Thanks.